where we're going to look at creating bolting our table. So we're going to need to drill some holes and then using an engraving tool to actually engrave the lettering in our timber sign. So for this, open up your Fusion 360 account. It should look something like this after you've created a setup. Okay, and what we're going to do now is we're going to create a drilling operation. So up here under drilling, we're going to select that and we're going to select drill. And we're just going to go top to bottom and then left to right across these toolbars. So first of all, we need to select the tool that we're going to use to drill. In the CNC SCAS tool library, we should be able to make sure this is on milling. We should have a whole range of tools here to choose from. The first tool we're going to choose is tool 32. And hitting select, you can now see that our toolbar changes to the router head of the machine, and we've got all these preset feeds and speeds. Now, tool 32 is actually a router cutter, and its speed is way too fast. So we're actually going to change that from 18,000 to 1,500. So I like to say 1,500. Now, that will instantly change all our plunge feed rates and everything to suit that spindle speed. So make note of that. If you're drilling, the drilling speed needs to be much slower than a router cutter. Okay, so once we've got our tool selected, we've got our feeds and speeds right, we're going to move across to the geometry. Now the geometry we want to select in this case, because we want to drill holes so we can bolt our piece of timber down, is we want to put 4 bolts basically at either end of our piece of timber. So we're just going to hit this drop down menu to selected points. Scrolling in here, we're going to select the 4 points, 2 at each end of our model. And that's where we want to drill our holes, because that is exactly where the bolt down marks are on our CNC bed. Okay, once we've selected the points, we can move across to the heights. Now the heights is indicating the height that the drill bit will be sitting at in the machine and how far offset that drill bit will be from your model. So the retract height is the stock type offset 5 millimeters. I like to add a little bit more clearance here, so we're just going to change that to 10. Same with the feed height. I like it to spin, the drill bit to spin a little bit higher than the timber and slowly come into it. Now the top height, currently we've got as hole top. Now we haven't selected a hole, we've actually only selected a point. So there is no hole top, so we need to change that hole top to stock top. And we want to change the bottom height to stock bottom, that being our model. We can also then, because we want to bolt this down and the drill bit has a tapered tip, as you can see just there, what we want to do is actually allow our drill bit to go through the bottom of our material. So we're just going to go drill tip through bottom, and we're going to add 0.5 millimeter to that figure down the bottom. Now we go across to the next tab on the top, which is cycle. And here it's saying drilling rapid out. That means that our drill bit's just going to plunge through the piece of timber from top to bottom in 1 pass. And that's not a very good practice for a drill bit. Typically we will snap drill bits quite quickly and readily if we do that. So I'm just going to hit this drop down menu and we're going to go to deep drilling full retract. In that we can set what's called a pecking depth. And our pecking depth for drilling, it's a rough gauge, we're going to set to about 10 millimeters. That means that the drill bit's going to go in and out 10 millimeters at a time and clear any of that timber that gets caught around it. Pressing OK. Okay, you can see our model turns to green and we get a range of tool paths here. Okay, these tool paths are essentially what the router is going to do. So if I go up here to simulate, and I click on this simulating tool, okay, what I can do now, and I'll just turn the speed down a little bit so it's not going too quick, is I can actually press play and I can see exactly what my router is going to do. So it's going to go in and out twice on each hole and drill the 4 holes, and that's the order that will do the holes. So I'll drill that one, this one in this corner, and this one. I'm quite happy with that. Exiting simulation. I now need to do a 2D pass to cut out my lettering. So I'm just going to come up here to the 2D drop-down menu and select the engrave tool. Now, the engraved, then once this comes up, I get the same toolbar that came up before. I'm just going to come in here now and select my tool. The tool that I want to select this time, if I jump into the CNC tool library, is tool number 60. And that is a 45-degree wide chamfer cutter. Hitting select. With this tool, it immediately sets all of the correct feeds and speeds for me. So the next thing I need to do is select geometry. Now with an engraving tool, the geometry that we want to select is the top of the lettering. So I'm just going to cruise through and select the top of the lettering for each letter. So once I have them all selected, I can then go into heights. Not much needs to be changed in here. Okay, we want the bottom height to be the top height minus 16 mil, which would be the width of my lettering. Okay, stock height, you could change the clearance if you wanted to, but 5 mil is going to be fine for what we want to do, and it's going to do it in one pass. So we're just going to hit OK now. What it will do now is it'll give a range of toolpaths. If I hit simulate, it will do the engraving. You'll be able to watch it do the engraving. Here you want to look for that basically everything that you want the machine to do is doing it correctly, and it's not doing multiple passes or anything like that. Exit simulation. Now what we need to do is if we come up here to our setup and we select our setup, it's good practice to hit simulate now and watch it. It'll run through all the toolpaths that you've done. So we've only got 2 simple toolpaths here. So it'll do the drilling operations, drill 4 holes, and then the engraving of the lettering. Once that's done, I'm going to hit exit simulation, and I'm going to save my work. And now it's ready to be sent to the CNC machine.